Okay, guys, I'm feeling a bit sick today, so my voice sounds a bit raspy. That's why. Anyways, iPod cameras. You know them. Oh, crap. Oh, no. You know them. You love them. The iPod Touch. And this guy has a camera, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I mean, technically, this thing has two cameras, one up here and one over here. But today we'll be focusing just on the back camera since it's the only one that has any significant value to me. So, let's talk about it. Now, before this video starts, I just want to say that I am no photographer or cinematographer or anything like that, and I have no interest of doing that in the future. But I know how to use a camera, so you have a opinion of some guy who just knows cameras a little bit. Now, keep that in mind while watching this video. Now, this video is going to focus on the back camera for the iPod Touch 7th generation. Now, spoiler alert, this camera isn't very good. This camera is basically something from 2016, if even that advanced. So let's jump into it. Now, for those of you camera nerds who actually want to know the specs, there's a whole list listed on Apple's page. I'll put up on screen, but most of this stuff is just gimmicks to get you to buy this useless camera. But the more important ones are as follows. This thing has an 8 megapixel camera, 31mm focal length, autofocus, and a 2.4 aperture. Wow, sounds so fancy, guys. It sounds like I know what I'm doing. No, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's move on. I think also can record videos, but we won't be going over that today since that's going to be a whole different topic. So this is going to be solely on the camera part in just photos. Before I start telling you guys some pictures from this guy, let's talk about what these specs mean. This thing has 8 megapixels, which basically means it has 8 million pixels if you were to take a photo, which may sound like a lot, but the newest cameras are going something like 48 million pixels, so we'll see what that means when we look at those actual photos. This thing also has a nice 2.4 aperture, so that means if you want, you could get that nice bokeh, you could get a very blurry photo, but it's not very good on this. It does give some blur. And finally, this thing also has a 31mm lens. That basically means when you take a picture of it, it looks kind of distorted, but it's not going to look like a fisheye camera where it looks like, for example, where it looks like this, where everything gets all distorted, weird, and stuff like that. So when I say it has a 31mm camera, it's kind of like what this guy has, what I shoot with. Kind of looks like this in terms of specs, so keep that in mind. All right, but that's enough chit-chat. Now let's look at the actual photos on this guy. So if I were one of those photographer YouTubers, I'd do one of those things where I start like a slideshow where I have the nice music playing, and then you see all the photos, and then it'll be like... Since I'm not one of those YouTubers, I'm not going to do that. Okay, that was pretty nice. Let's go back to that really quick. Oh, you guys are back already? Oh, okay. I was gonna eat some lunch. Oh, okay. I guess we can just look at the photos now, if you really want. Now, those pictures may look decent and okay. We also have to keep in mind that there's YouTube compressing, so they may not look the best. But we also have to keep in mind that depending on what you're watching on, that may be a small screen, so it may look good. However, the second we start zooming into these photos, it looks bad. It looks bad, guys. Oh. So all the photos I took on this thing were on this iPod. If you look on this tiny screen, these photos look amazing. But if you bring them onto the big screen and zoom in a little bit, it kind of starts to suck really fast. I'm going to introduce you guys to a new term really quick. This is called noise. This is a term videographers use, I think. But basically what I'm talking about is not the noise as in like the stuff you like, the sounds you hear, but like the noise as in like when you zoom into something and you can see how kind of grainy it looks. If I look at this, it looks kind of grainy. That's what I mean by noise. So with that being said, this iPod camera has a lot of noise, like a lot. Like if I were to zoom out and show you the actual photo, yeah, it looks pretty good. And let me just zoom in a little bit, and it doesn't look so well anymore. So that's our 8 megapixel camera speaking. but we can look at more photos. As you can see, the cameras, the quality, once you zoom in, is horrendous. However, when you look at the actual camera, the whole actual photo, as an entire whole photo, not zoomed in or anything, this thing looks amazing. Something that I wanted to add in really quick, this thing also has some nice bokeh, but it only works very well if you're taking a close-up shot. So you can see all this blurriness in the background and the foreground. That is called bokeh. The blurriness is the bokeh, so it has some nice bokeh under certain conditions. The camera is 100% usable today, no doubt about it, but that's a nice peacock, by the way. His name is Jeff. Say hi to Jeff. But you can see this camera isn't very good for 2023. If you were to take something on your phone right now, I guarantee you it looks tons better if you zoom in, compared to this at least. So this thing isn't exactly the best thing for taking photos. However, if you need to take a photo in a pinch, the iPod can do it. So that's basically what we need to know about this camera. It isn't amazing. It's far from it, but it's more of a, if I need to take something on the spot and I only have my iPod, then I can take a picture, and yeah, so it's not very well. Another thing I want to focus on is low light photography. This thing does have a flashlight, so it does so it can light up basically dark situations. But if we do look at low light photography, the noise goes out of control. You can see all this grainy pixels everywhere. It's just very bad. Now when you take flash photography, the noise isn't as bad. It's still there, but then it starts looking like a a photo from 30 years ago. So take it or leave it. It's up to you at this point. Here's another example. If we look at these two photos, it's just a ladder. Yeah, it's light and day in terms of the flashlight, but it also looks like a old photo from the 90s when you get that flashlight on. If you guys have any photo books from your parents or anything, that's what it reminds me of. The thing is, this iPod can take panorama photos, so that means you can get those long photos where you get the whole landscape. It does an okay job, but it gets the job done, is all I'm going to say. It's not very pretty, but it's better than nothing. It's more of a gimmick, but yeah. So the iPod camera, it is 100% usable in today's world. So to recap, the iPod camera is 100% usable for photos. Now for videos, we're going to have to leave that for another video. But if you need to take a photo on this thing, 100% you can. So that's basically all you want to know about this device. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys all next video for iPods. And yeah, bye-bye.